disappointing from an MSU standpoint, and of course the Bears' problem in recent years has been lacking wins in non-conference games. This year they go 3-1 in the non-conference, with the loss being competitively to Oklahoma State and two of their wins being good road wins against pretty good teams in Northwest Louisiana and Central Arkansas. But they come home against Youngstown and just did not appear to be sharp at all. You got to give Youngstown State a lot of credit for that. Both teams were coming off a week bye, so they had plenty of time to prepare. But Kierra Harris, the Missouri State quarterback, had been averaging 275 yards a game of total offense and just making great decisions. And he was held to 9 of 28 passing for 85 yards. So the Bears just really couldn't get clicking offensively. The defense was fine, really a winning effort, except they did give up two big plays, and each resulted in Youngstown touchdowns. I don't want to say he's everything because he is a facilitator, but I mentioned earlier about the decisions that he'd been making, and they've been almost universally good decisions. He's a very good runner, and in the past he had sometimes been a little bit too anxious to tuck the ball and run and give up on a play, or if not, then maybe force a pass that might go to the wrong place. But he has been throwing the ball out of bounds if that needs to be the case and live to play the next down. In this particular game, there were a couple of interceptions that were the result of deflections off the hands of receivers. So that's really not on him. His stats could have looked a lot better than they were, but at the end of the day, you are what you are, and Youngstown State won the day. He's a senior. He's been starting off and on since his freshman year. That year, he was thrown into the breach first game as a true freshman at Arkansas because the then starting quarterback had been suspended for that game. He was a part-time starter each of the last 2 years, and now has obviously become the full-time starter as a senior. He is a leader. He is a guy that the team looks to, and if he has a bad performance, then unfortunately it looks like the team does. Last year, the Bears were part of that muddle at 5-3 as a multiple tie for second place in the conference, and that really was a season-defining win for them. Anytime you can beat South Dakota State, and it's the first time they'd ever beaten them in 6 meetings. But I'd have to say that was their best performance. It was indicative of the explosiveness that they do possess offensively, and they've been showing it this year. Don't think the weather is really going to be an issue, but the physical style of play of South Dakota State is. I mean, such a blue-collar team, and you have to match their physicality, which is easier said than done. But that's really the mantra this week for Missouri State, that you've got to go up there and play a physical game and hit and be hit, and that's going to be your only chance to come out on top.